Hi, I'm Nate Heyward, part of the North America Shipping and Logistics team at eBay. Thank you so much for joining our presentation today about saving time and money on shipping. We've got a great agenda to go through, and I want to share with you a couple of the shipping touch points on eBay that you should be thinking about, and eBay labels and the delivery services that we offer there, along with some of our smart shipping tips. Let's get started. Selling on eBay has a number of places and times that you should think about shipping. That starts first in listing. What's the size of the package that you're using? What sort of packaging and dunnage or filling will you use to protect your item? What's it going to cost to get the item to the buyer when you don't yet know where the buyer is? How do you want your listing to look to buyers as they're shopping for your items? Pay for shipping or offer free shipping? How quickly do you think you can get the item once you've been paid for it into the carrier's hands and possession? We call that handling time on eBay. What speed do you want to offer buyers? And will you offer returns? Also, after you sell the item, you need to think about a lot of things about shipping again. Where are you going to get your label once the item's sold? How quickly will you get it to the carrier? And what way will you hand over to the carrier? Will that carrier service that's best for you, and the one that you've chose to ship with, get to the buyer in time? How much will shipping actually cost now that you know where you need to ship it to? Did the item get delivered? How is tracking looking? And what happens when a buyer needs to return the item? Today, we're going to talk about how eBay can support you. One of our primary tools that we have for post-transaction, or post-sale, is eBay Labels. It's integrated into the platform, and you never have to leave the site. eBay Labels automatically uploads tracking. We offer great convenient options for folks that have lots of sales in our bulk shipping tool. We also offer printerless or QR code labels. This is where if you don't have a printer or access to one, you can use a QR code on your mobile device, and the carrier would scan that QR code and print the eBay label for you. eBay Labels also offers customs forms so you can ship in the compliant way in case your sale is going internationally. Really, when we think about eBay Labels, it's a great tool to save time because we take care of so many of the items automatically for you. Uploading tracking is really important to the buyer experience, and eBay takes care of that when you use our eBay Label platform. We also offer discounted rates with a variety of carriers. USPS, FedEx, UPS, great negotiated discounts on behalf of eBay offered to the selling community so you can save money when you ship the item to your buyer. eBay also has recently developed two of our own proprietary shipping options. eBay International Standard for international and cross-border trade transactions, a great convenient option right on eBay Labels with best-in-class time and transits, negotiated rates just for you. Only available on eBay Labels. And in the domestic selling space, we also offer eBay Standard Envelope. This is a lightweight, low-cost, trackable, and insured solution for trading cards, postcards, stamps, and currency.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
I love using eBay to buy labels, especially first class. I can save up to 20%.
So eBay labels are super awesome. Really, they save you a lot of time and money, to be honest with you.
You're not going to pay that retail rate with the USPS. eBay gives sellers a discount. And who doesn't want a discount? It allows me to invest back into my business, and it helps me to save money, and it also allows me to have more money to source and buy more inventory.
I love eBay bulk printing. All you have to do is hit that bell on the top right corner. It lays out all of my pending orders. I can purchase shipping for all of my orders all on one page, print them in bulk, use my Dymo printer, and I'm done.
Also, it's really satisfying when you get to print out all those labels all at once.
Yeah.
Bulk printing is very easy because you get to pack all your items at once and then print out all your labels and stick the labels on the package.
It allows you to print it, and then on that page, you can see all of those labels and make sure you're sticking the labels onto the right packages. We just love it that way.
A lot of sellers don't know that you can void labels. I had something that happened to me once. When I was a new seller, I did not know that you could void labels and not be charged for them once you void them. But if you don't void that label, you will still be charged for it.
If the buyer decides to cancel, it's very easy to void that label.
You're gonna cancel the order, no big deal, it's easy on eBay. And then you have to go into where you've printed that label out under shipping labels, and there'll be an option where you put void label. And basically that's gonna cancel that out, the label that you put on here, and the USPS will give you a refund.
So eBay has this function where if you don't have a printer or you've run out of labels or whatever it might be, you can use this QR code, show it to the shipping carrier, and they will print out the label for you right there. And this is a great function for newbies. If you don't have, thermal printers, this is great for if you ever run out of printer paper or if you ever run out of labels.
Don't be afraid to ship items. You will learn with experience, and as you get more experience, you're gonna get better and better.
I love hearing directly from our sellers about the advantages of eBay labels. As you heard from them, there's a variety of different offerings through the labels platform to help sellers with big sale volume and maybe even if it's your first time, all the way from bulk shipping to QR codes, discounted rates, and the convenience of being right there on eBay.com in one place. You can rest assured, using eBay labels will help you make a great buyer delivery experience for your customers. Let's move into eBay Standard Envelope, one of eBay's proprietary shipping options that we've created for the postcard, trading card, stamps, coins, and paper money categories. We're looking to expand the categories that eBay Standard Envelope is offered for soon. eBay Standard Envelope offers a tracked and insured solution for lightweight items. There are very serious size restrictions and weight limits. eBay Standard Envelope is really meant to be the size of what I think of as a birthday card or smaller. So perfect for categories that we've enabled it for, and perfect for some additional categories on the site too. eBay Standard Envelope supports 1, 2, and 3 ounce shipping, weights, and can be no thicker than a 1/4 inch. We offer eBay Standard Envelope for transactions under $20 as a single order, or on combined orders up to $50. Let's roll a video to talk more about the benefits of eBay Standard Envelope.
Ship.
Oh, ship.
I've been selling trading cards on eBay for almost 2 years now.
Collecting cards is expensive, so I have to sell cards to get cards that I want. So right now I sell Pokemon cards, NBA cards, and football cards, all to build my own collection.
I collect baseball cards. I love collecting high-end, low-end, everything in between. A true collector doesn't just buy the expensive stuff, and that's where eBay offers so many great selling options.
The great thing about eBay Standard Envelope is no matter what card you're selling nowadays, you'll be able to turn a profit. In the past, I'm a Billy Butler collector, and if you're buying Billy Butler singles, you are paying maybe 50 cents for this card and $5 for shipping. With eBay Standard Envelope, you are now able to get the Billy Butler card for 50 cents for the card and maybe $1 for shipping.
This card you can see is in a top loader. That's just called that because you insert the card in through the top. It's more of a rigid plastic sleeve that the cards can be moved around in, but also taken out of. It's just a really good way of preserving cards. You could also use something like a card saver that I showed. This is a little bit larger and a little bit sturdier. It's really good for transit to use card savers.
Anything under $20 will go in one of these. If it's over $20 or if it's in a slab, then ship it in a bubble mailer.
Another pro about eBay Standard Envelope is you're able to send multiple cards valued up to a combined $50. That's the case as long as no individual card is worth over the max $20 limit.
So I started using Standard Envelope the week it came out.
So I started doing it pretty much right away once it became announced. I was shipping singles with just a stamp in the past, and as I mentioned, all you could do was mark it as shipped. And that's a little daunting because you have no way of verifying that anything was delivered. And if the buyer ever opened up a claim saying that something wasn't delivered, you have no recourse. One of the fears that I had before shipping with eBay Standard Envelope was not being able to actually track your cards in transit. So one of the big things and benefits of the Standard Envelope was the fact that you do have a tracking label assigned to each order.
With the eBay Standard Envelope, there's 3 different tiers. You have an ounce, you have 2 ounces, and you have 3 ounces. Each tier gets progressively more expensive, with the most expensive, the 3 ounce, as long as you're below that weight, being around $1.
The smallest you can use is 3.5 by 5 inches, similar to this envelope right here, and the largest you can use is 6.125 inches by 11.5 inches. They all need to be less than 1/4 inch thick because this will make it so it can go through the USPS without getting in the way, and it has to be less than 3 ounces.
You can send 3 to 4 cards inside a single top loader or card saver with the eBay Standard Envelope.
Another great feature about the eBay Standard Envelope is the fact that it has tracking. For years, collectors have been sending cards and envelopes just like this as we're trying to complete sets. But finally, there's a method where it's reliable and protected by eBay. You can make sure the card gets to the buyer. They can't pretend they didn't receive it and file a claim. This is the first method that's been provided for plain white envelope sending, as we call them in sports cards with plain white envelopes, but it will make sure that the buyer and the seller are protected.
I almost always just go and drop them off in collection bins, and I don't get a receipt or even like an acceptance scan right away.
eBay will tell you when it's shipped and when it's delivered.
Before eBay Standard Envelope, it was a lot harder to make money off those cheaper cards.
That's why eBay Standard Envelope as a seller and a buyer can be really important, because there are people like me who are chasing these cards, but they only want to pay $2 for the card plus 90 cents for shipping. This was only possible thanks to the eBay Standard Envelope and the ability to purchase the entire set outright.
Using Standard Envelope lowers the cost of shipping.
I love hearing from the sellers about eBay Standard Envelope and their tips and tricks on how to use that product successfully. Now let's look at eBay Labels, some of the screens that we have, and we'll walk through how to use eBay Labels. We're starting here on the single labels screen. Here you can enter your weight in pounds and ounces along with your dimensions, and eBay will surface up all of the available options that are eligible for the weight and dimensions that you've input. We'll show you the services, what times they would arrive to the buyer, if they're insured or not, if they include tracking, and if you can use a QR code with those services. And we also provide the price quote right on the screen. You can filter by carrier, eBay, FedEx, UPS, or USPS if you have a carrier preference. I personally like to evaluate all the services available to me so I can choose which one is best to get to the buyer in time. On the next screen, we'll look at how you can change an address. It's very simple. On the right-hand side, underneath the order details, you can edit the address that you want to send to. Be careful when doing so, because editing a buyer's address can void the eBay money-back guarantee policy. So make sure you're evaluating if it's appropriate to be editing the address or not when you're changing a buyer's address. You can also edit things like where your return address is and where you're shipping from. I know I've used this when I was fulfilling a sale while I was on vacation. So not at my normal home, and place where I normally would ship from, but somewhere else. To get the most accurate rate quote on eBay labels, it's important to state where you're shipping from and where you're shipping to, along with the weight and dimensions. Next, we'll look at how you can choose what format you want to use to print your labels. We offer different sizes, 8.5 by 11, 4 by 6, and 2 by 7, and we also offer the ability to print on a PDF or via an image. Save your settings here, and you don't need to change them unless you want to. Finally, you're able to choose what type of format you want your label to be dispensed as. A printable label, this is one where you would print on a home office printer, or a QR code. In case you select QR code, we'll email you a QR code that you can take to the carrier retail locations. FedEx, UPS, and USPS all support scanning QR codes to print an eBay label at the discounted rate right there at the counter. I've found this super convenient for when I didn't have access to a printer. I ran out of toner one time, and QR codes was a perfect option for me on my sales. An easy and convenient way to get your sales into the carrier possession even when you were having printer problems. We've also found this is an excellent option for new and first-time sellers. Super convenient, right there on the mobile device. Finally, once you've purchased a label on eBay, you're taken to the screens where you are ready to print them. We also highlight some next steps for you and resources about where you could drop off your item based on the carrier you've selected. We've confirmed the tracking number on this page for you that we've automatically uploaded to the transaction. Here's a shot of what the printer screen looks like. This is when you're using a printable label. You can print right from the browser and right out to your home office printer. Let's move next into bulk labels. This is the tool that we have for supporting multiple labels in a single go. Bulk shipping labels offers up to 100 orders to be printed at the same time. You can edit the attributes about weight, dimension, and service right here from the bulk screen. And as you heard on the video, very, very convenient when you have lots of sales volume to process in a single day. Bulk labels also enables you to print scan forms with the post office if you use bulk labels to print USPS labels. Once you've got all your weight, dimensions, and shipping services set on the bulk labels screen, you can click Purchase, and Bulk Labels offers you a chance to review all of the purchases that will be made. Here we summarize the amount of labels that we're going to print, the total cost to you, and ask about the payment method of which you'd like to pay for the labels with. And finally, once you purchase, you come again to the printing screens, where Bulk Labels will offer you the ability to print them in the format that you've selected, and all of the labels will come out in the order which you purchased them. We're going to roll now into a video about dimensional weight.
The weight on the scale isn't the only factor. Carriers use other measurements to calculate cost. Be sure to use the right size box and put the right dimensions and weight to save money. A smart ship tip: always round up to the nearest whole number.
As you just heard in the video, dimensional weight is very important to consider when you're evaluating your shipping options. This is why it's so important to enter valid dimensions rounded up to the nearest inch. So what I mean by that is if you take your ruler and it's 5.5 inches on one side, enter 6 on the eBay labels screens as your dimension. The carriers use not just the weight on the scale, but also the volume of a package when they're considering how to charge for a shipment. eBay's negotiated great rates with all of the carriers to make best-in-class service and rate availability using dimensional weight and scale weight. The billable weight is the greater of the scale or the dimensional weight. This sounds kind of complex, and I agree. That's why eBay Labels has taken all of that mathematical calculation and done it for you. All you need to do is enter the actual scale weight and the actual dimensions onto eBay Labels screens, and we'll handle how the carriers each calculate dimensional and billable weight in our estimates that we provide. We're next going to roll into 2 more videos about hazardous materials and about how to save with eBay Labels before we wrap up.
Make sure you know what you can ship and what you can't. Some carriers require specific labels for hazardous materials. All carriers have restrictions, and not following them can cause delays and fines. A smart ship tip: check eBay policy or call your carrier to confirm. Smarter shipping with eBay Labels. Shipping through eBay Labels is convenient, easy, and helps you maximize your profit. It's linked to the listing process, so after you sell your item, you're only a few clicks away from shipping it. Choose from any of the major carrier services, plus eBay Standard Envelope and eBay International Standard Delivery. Your tracking info will upload automatically, and the transaction will be marked as shipped. You can print individual labels, print in bulk, or choose to have a QR code emailed to you for printerless labels, all of which include free, automatic tracking. You can also get access to eBay negotiated rates, so don't let any unnecessary shipping costs chip away at your profit. We're sharing some smart ship tips to help avoid extra charges or delays. If you void a label and don't use it, you won't be charged. But if you void a label and still use it, your carrier will charge you. A smart ship tip: be sure to print a new shipping label. If you need to ship more than one package, you'll need to print a separate label for each one. Because if you use the same label twice, your carrier will charge you twice. A smart ship tip: print separate shipping labels for each package. Make sure the return address on your label matches the zip code you ship from. Otherwise, your carrier may charge you extra. A smart ship tip: keep your address up to date in your account. You sold it. Now ship it with ease and without extra charges.
What a great bunch of videos that we just saw about various shipping tips. I want to leave you with 5 key takeaways from today's presentation. First, leverage eBay Labels. We have great negotiated shipping costs. There's a lot of automation that helps you make your post-sale transaction smooth and seamless to provide a great buyer delivery experience. Second, check out eBay Shipping Calculator. This tool will allow you to accurately understand how much shipping will cost you. This can be challenging when you don't yet know where your buyers are, but eBay Shipping Calculator allows you to put in some of your inventory, their weight and dimensions, and understand various scenarios about what shipping may cost on the different services based on where the buyer, purchaser may be. eBay Shipping Calculator also allows you to understand things like when there are rate changes and understand what different packaging choices, size, weight, dimensions, and how they may impact your shipping costs with the various providers on the platform. Third, choose the right shipping option for your listing. Free shipping towards buyer, calculated shipping, which is allowing the buyer to see a real-time quote based on your location and their location for the price that it would cost to ship the item that distance. or flat rate. This is where you can choose to offer buyers a single flat rate price on all shipping, regardless of their location in the US or worldwide. Third, care about packaging. As you heard today, size, weight, and dimensions of your outer package can impact your shipping cost. So make sure to choose the smallest box or packaging that you can, while still allowing the item to arrive safely. And finally, we've got an incredible amount of information available on ebay.com/shipping. Tips, the videos that you just saw today, and all sorts of documentation about the in-depth details of how shipping works on eBay. We encourage you to explore those resources, and we'd love your feedback. Thank you so much for joining us at eBay Open 2022.